living by this motto of TNT, today, not tomorrow. So everything we can do today to get better, that's what we're trying to do. Not worried about tomorrow. It's not, it's not promised, and yesterday's gone. So obviously, any mistakes or anything that's taken place the day before, or any things that we did really well, we're not just going to harp on those things. We're going to try to get better in that moment today. So, but it's been good. We're making a lot of progress. We're becoming a physical football team, of great discipline, a great passion and togetherness. So we're really excited about where our team is at right now. Yeah, that's a good question. I think surprised. I don't think there's a lot of surprises, but I do think there's some guys that have stood out. I think I said this at Media Day. Cole Sullivan is the guy that continues to climb, that continues to make an impact. We really feel really good about that linebacker room from Ernie, Jay Sean, Jimmy, and Cole. That guy, he was probably the guy that people weren't talking about. Didn't know, he's a younger guy, but he's a guy that's really stood out, and he's doing, he's very multiple, doing different things. And then in that room again, you got a guy like Chase Taylor who just keeps chomping at the bit to be better and better and better. So I think from a defense perspective, that group, that guy, specifically Cole, just jumps out at me. We all know about the defensive front and what those guys have done, but Cole really is a guy that's jumped out. In the secondary, I'd say another guy is, Jaden Mangum is a guy I guess kind of would be not a surprise, but a guy that's taken the next steps and pushing that safety room. Because we talked about T.J. Metcalf, right? We talked about Brandon Hellman and Mason Curtis, but Jaden's really a guy that's really taken the next steps on defense to show that capability. And we love all those guys, but the more the better. And corners, Josiah Edmond is a guy. Shamari Earl's the true freshman. He's flashed and done some really good things. And on offense, you talk about worthy offensive line. Big shout out to Grant Newsome and what he's done with that group. And Coach Gilbert and Marukian and Coach Castillo, they've invested a lot of time in that group to be really good. And they know the vision. They know what I want in that O-line. And they know how we should run it as an offensive line. And they've imprinted that in that group, and they've become closer this offseason. They've worked really, really hard, and they're pushing that D-line now. There's days that the O-line wins, and that's what you want. You want that good back and forth. So that whole group has been great. Quarterbacks have been great, just much improved, playing at a really good level. We'll see where it goes and how far we'll go to that. As far as naming the quarterback, I know you guys want to know who the quarterback is. I'll tell you on game week. So before any questions come about that. Running back room's been great. Micah Capana, Bryson Cudsdale's picking up where he went from the spring. Receivers, really electric group. Feel really good about this group. Coach Bellamy, Coach Sue Campbell have done a great job. And then tight end, same thing. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun team to watch. Whoever the starting quarterback is to raise the level of the team, and for him, for Jaden Davis, for Jake Garcia, Mikey Keene, to make sure that they put themselves in position to make that they're the best quarterback version or best version of that they can be for Michigan football, and be leaders of the offense. Obviously, we've always talked about, the offense is led by, and the team is led by the offensive line, but your quarterback has to be the captain of that room, that offense. So, whoever that is, that's what I want him to be. Yeah, he's done a good bit. He's participating at his rate that he can, and we'll see as far as how much he can do and what he'll do as we go through. But he's been doing a good job for us and managing everything he needs to do. It's a constant battle. We literally just talked about it. So, like I said, Andrew Lavalola and Evan Link at left tackle is a constant battle, and you can throw Blake Frazier in there. He's also been working at right. So we got guys moving all around. I love that when that happens. And then at the right guard, it could be a combination of, you got Nate Afobe, you got Lawrence Tatar, you got Jake Granera, and you got Brady Norton, who's been working in there and at center. So it's a group of 4 guys that can move all around inside. I think Kripp has really, really done a good job at center. We'll keep pushing him with Jake. Gio's kind of cemented himself as the starting left guard. He's a guy that's played a lot of football. We're watching clips of 2022 versus Illinois, and he was in there because Keegan had a stinger or shoulder problem. So he's a guy that's played. And then Andrew Sprague has played really, really well at right tackle. We still got, Blake pushing him, but he's really pushing. So Got a couple spots we think we got cemented, but we're gonna let those other guys fight it out.